True Crime Society podcast contains adult themes and violence and is not intended for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. And if you'd like to skip the intro or move to any specific part of the podcast, please refer to the timestamps listed in the episode description. Thank you. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the True Crime Society podcast with Stephanie and Olivia. It is November 21st, 2024 right now. My voice feels like scratchy. I don't know why. Hold on.
Just giving up.
So right now, real time, when this episode comes out, it should be Thanksgiving if I'm doing the math right in my head. I know I say math, and it's not really math, but it's supposed to be Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners. Maybe you're listening right now while you're preparing some appetizers or a turkey, whatever else goes on with Thanksgiving. I've never hosted a Thanksgiving. I've only been a guest, which I prefer because it seems like a lot of work to host. But I guess I should say I'm thankful for all of you listeners. Glad that everyone's here. Peep just copped up because she's also thankful for everyone. Peep. Give the crowd a little meow. Peep. Go on.
She doesn't do it on command.
I know. She's such a little witch. Peep. You look like you want to. She's like meowing, but it's not very loud. She just wants to step on the computer, which no. But yes, thankful for all the listeners. Thankful for my lovely co-host, Olivia. We've been doing this for over 4 years, which is crazy. And we're very grateful. So I'm going on and on about Thanksgiving, but sad Olivia doesn't get Thanksgiving.
I know, it's my jealous time of year because, we don't have Thanksgiving here. We don't really have anything similar, I guess. But I do love seeing all the food because, like, Thanksgiving food, I feel like is my all-time favorite food. I love turkey. I love cranberry sauce. I love potatoes. So that would be my dream. But I just have to, maybe I'll just have to treat myself and make my own little Thanksgiving dinner here.
Yeah, just celebrate anyways.
Yeah. Like, we have turkey at Christmas time. So we usually do a turkey and a ham and something else at Christmas time. But yeah, unfortunately, nothing. And it's funny because, like, basically after, I don't even know what the last holiday, I guess Halloween, it's not that big here, but then everything, like Christmas stuff comes out here in August because we don't have Thanksgiving. So
it comes out here in August too.
Yeah. Like, I remember this year I went to the shops. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not even September and all the Christmas stuff is out. But because we skip it, I guess the Christmas is the next thing we have to look forward to.
Yeah, like when it was probably September, I was at Walmart and I was just like looking around because, as I've mentioned many times, I just got a house this year and I was like, oh, let me get some cute like fall decorations since it's September. And it was like all Christmas stuff already. There was some Halloween stuff, obviously, but the whole back garden center of the store, which is huge, all Christmas already in September. I was like, damn, I missed it. I was like, it's still 80 degrees out and I missed it. But yeah, I mean, I like Thanksgiving. I like seeing my family. I have a lot of cousins that are like in college now, so that's fun. But it kind of makes me feel old. Like I try to hang out with them and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like old. And they're probably like, she's lame.
Don't want to hang out with you anymore.
Yeah. I'm like, one of them just turned 21 and I'm like, oh my God, we got to go out when you're back home from school. And he was like, yeah, def. And I was like, I bet in his mind, he's like, no.
No way. I'll just keep pretending that I'm going to.
Yeah. Like, I think I'm cool. I have a podcast. People like me. Have you ever heard of a turducken?
Yeah, I think we do have that here. Like, at Christmas time, you can buy them here. But yeah, we do have.
We had one once a long time ago, and I was not impressed.
Yeah, I just feel like it wouldn't be my thing either.
Yeah, I guess it's more like the novelty, and it was a long time ago, so I don't exactly remember. But I feel like there was one year where it became a thing and everyone was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, we're
everyone was
getting
like,
a turd
"Wow,
duck in." Yeah.
wow."
But if you think about it, it's kind of gross. It's
I
like, what,
know.
a duck and a chicken and a turkey?
I do love all those things separately, but yeah, maybe not all together. I feel like too, they all need to be cooked so differently. Like I know,
That's why
yeah,
I feel like it doesn't always turn out good because it's either like dry
yeah.
or I don't know. I don't know who invented that, like
Well,
who
why does it even
decided
need to
that.
be a thing? I don't feel like it's so
Yeah, like
unnecessary.
who was like, we need to put this duck inside of a chicken inside of a turkey because just one is not enough.
You need to have
I
all
don't know.
three. Be
I'll have to
extra.
do some research. Yeah, so weird. So I hope everyone has a nice holiday, has some time off of work. I hope everyone gets the Friday off after Thanksgiving. Oh, we could talk about Black Friday too, which
Yeah.
I feel like we always talk about, and how it's just like not as exciting of a thing anymore because online shopping basically killed Black Friday to me. Like there's still sales, but even right now there's pre-Black Friday sales. What
Yeah.
do you mean?
Well, I guess too, because also we don't really have Black Friday here again because we don't have Thanksgiving. But this
Mm.
week it's just been nonstop emails from sales. But it's like it's so funny. I even got one email and it's like our Black Friday starts on Monday, and I'm like, well,
Yeah. This is not
it's
Black
not really
Friday.
called Black Friday. Could just call it something else. Like I know I don't know if it's the same, but some people call it like Cyber Monday, the shit like that.
Yeah,
So
there's Cyber Monday.
but honestly, the sales this year have been unbelievable. I don't know if it's because retail in general is a bit slower, so everyone's going all out with these massive sales. I've done a ton of my Christmas shopping already, all online,
Oh, really?
which I'm very happy about. So
I feel like it's the opposite here. Well, I guess it's not like I've researched, but I'm always looking for house stuff and things like that and browsing. And I feel like for the last month, it's like, oh, Black Friday preview sale. And
mm.
it's like pre Black Friday sale. And it's like, oh, Black Friday week sale. But I feel like they do these sales and you think they're good, but they're not. Like the price, they raise what the
Yeah.
actual price
So it makes
is.
it look like it's a sale, but it's not.
Yeah, I know there's websites that you can use to check stuff like that, but I feel like a lot of it is what happens. I mean,
Even
is that's what
even
happens?
sometimes at the supermarket, like I think it's the same there. Like if they have like a special, they'll put like another tag over the normal tag or something.
Yeah, there was a scandal.
I know, and if you lift it up and see the normal price, you're like, "What? This is not legit."
There was like a scandal like that for Walmart or Target or something a few years ago where in retail they put the sale signs in front of the regular signs and someone thought to look and the price was literally like the same. But yeah, there's really no more days as far as I know where people are like waiting outside of Best Buy to like get in a fist fight with someone over a free TV.
The glory days are gone.
The good old days are over. So speaking of craziness, I guess that can be the transition is we're going to talk about some fake or suspected fake disappearances today. Funnily enough, of two men named Ryan. They're both Ryans, which we were just saying is very similar to Brian, and we all know how we feel about
Brian
Brian's.
Laundrie, Brian Walsh. I feel like there's probably a million other Brians, but it's always
Brian
Brian.
Koberger,
Yeah. Forgot the most important one, but yeah, it's always
the most
Brian and
important one.
maybe Brian and maybe Ryan. So
Brian's are the killers, Ryans are the fakers.
yeah.
So, in the past, we talked about a case of a man named Robert Hoagland on Patreon in late 2023. And he vanished from Newtown, Connecticut in 2013. And he lived this secret life for years, apparently 9 years. And then he ended up passing away. And that was how it was kind of discovered that he faked his life. I mean, he faked his disappearance and started a new life only like an hour or
Yeah,
so
very
away,
close
right?
to where he lived. Like still the same. Oh, it wasn't the same state because I think it might have been New York. But anyway, it was
It was
very
in New
close.
York.
Yeah, it was
It was
very
closer to where
close.
I live now.
Still, it's not like he went across the
Like,
country. He literally went for an hour.
no, and apparently he just like lived an average basic life lived with a roommate. It wasn't even like he had some love
No.
affair that we knew of.
And even his case was quite high profile. Like, he was on a disappeared episode. So I feel like his case was pretty well known in the true crime space, but he still managed to live his own life for 9 years. He had a job. He, gave reasons for, like, to his roommate, he gave reasons about why he basically had no family, and he managed to just stay in his own lane for 9 years and was only discovered after he died.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, I live around where he left and where he was also found. So I was thinking about it, I was like, wow, what if I ever cross paths with him? And that's
Mm.
when you start thinking about it, where I'm like, you see so many people and you don't really look at people, and then to like see a picture off of a missing sign once and expect it to stay fresh in your memory. It really is hard to identify people like that. Like, you just have to get it right at the right time where it's like in your mind and you see the person.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Before we get into the episode, we have a quick word from our sponsor, Uncommon Goods. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. We are all busy, but especially this time of year with the holidays coming up, it seems like chaos. Sometimes having to pick out special gifts for special people in your life, you kind of forget about it and then you don't have any ideas. But that's what's great about Uncommon Goods. It really makes it less stressful because they have so many really awesome hand-picked gifts for everyone all in one spot, that whoever you're getting a gift for is going to be like, this is exactly what I wanted. It's such a cool website. It's super easy to browse through because you can browse through it by interest or like who you're buying for. There's so many different categories and filters to help you find the perfect gift.
One thing I came across, which I think is so quirky and cool, and I feel like so many people would love this. There's a popcorn bowl and it's got a kernel sifter in the bottom. So you put your popcorn in, because there's nothing worse than biting into an unpopped kernel of popcorn. So I just think, like, amazing. That
Agreed.
is such a cool thing. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere, and they even have gifts that you can personalize. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/TCS. That's uncommongoods.com/TCS for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
All right, so today we're going to talk about the Ryans. First one we're going to talk about is Ryan Borgwardt. It's Borgwardt, Borgwardt, who's 44 years old. This is a current one. Like, there was literally just an update on it today. He was reported missing on August 12th, 2024, after he failed to return from a kayaking trip.
It was a desperate search for a 44-year-old dad who was feared drowned. Now comes a bombshell twist in the disappearance of father of three, Ryan Borgwardt.
Police now believe he faked his own death, fled overseas.
Borgwardt was reported missing and presumed drowned after going kayaking on Green Lake in Wisconsin, a popular destination for fishing. The missing dad's kayak was discovered capsized, floating in the lake, along with his life jacket. His tackle box containing his wallet, keys, and license was also found. Authorities and volunteers spent weeks searching the lake for Borgwardt's body to bring closure to his grieving family.
I covered this lake more thorough than I've ever covered a body of water. I spent 23 days on the water, 8 to 12-hour days.
Keith Cormican ran the volunteers using equipment like this. But now police say they believe the insurance agent staged his own death and abandoned his family in America to start a new life with a woman he met online from the nation of Uzbekistan. So why do police believe that Ryan Borgwardt is still alive? Well, they say his passport was used to cross the border into Canada the day after he was reported missing.
He was from Watertown, Wisconsin, and he is married to a woman named Emily. The couple have 3 children together, and they're aged between elementary school and high school. Monday, August 12th, police in Green Lake County responded to a missing persons call around 5:32 p.m. Emily, the wife, told police that she last had contact with Ryan on August 11th. She said that he texted her and said that he was heading to shore because he was out kayaking. Deputies found Ryan's vehicle and trailer parked in a lot at Dodge Memorial Park. And an hour after the missing persons call was made, a capsized kayak was found in the lake in an area that was around 220 feet deep. A life jacket was found floating nearby as well. The next day, a floating fishing rod was found in the lake, and Ryan's tackle box was later discovered, and his keys, wallet, and driver's license were found inside. Experienced divers and search dogs were brought in to help search for Ryan, and members of a volunteer search and recovery organization called Bruce's Legacy conducted a 28-day search for Ryan. The organization is led by Keith Cormacan. Sheriff Mark Podol spoke about the people and organizations involved in the search. He said, "The expertise of Keith Cormacan and Bruce's Legacy cannot be overstated. His dedication and persistence in the search effort was unmatched. Keith is certainly one of the best in the world at his craft." What a review.
Yeah, no, wow. Wish we had reviews
The statement,
like that.
yeah. So this statement is important because it kind of gives you an idea of as to how thorough they searched for him. I mean, it was 28 days that they were searching. Seems like they put in a lot of effort and used a lot of resources. So when there was no trace of Ryan after what then turned into a 54-day search, officials were certain that he was not in the lake, and they began to look at other avenues. So from there, authorities discovered that Ryan's passport had been checked by Canadian law enforcement on August 13th, which is the day after he went missing. The sheriff told reporters that was something we didn't expect. And he added that they ended up analyzing a laptop that Emily had given to them. So police discovered that Ryan had reported his passport as missing earlier in the year and obtained a replacement on May 22nd, 2024. His original passport was found at home by his family after he vanished because it was never lost. So it seems like he ordered a new one to keep red flags at bay for as long as he could so that his family wouldn't believe anything was amiss. Like, you know, if they went and looked and his passport was gone, they'd be like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But since he got a new one, there was two.
This guy's such a jerk. I just can't believe it.
Like he really thought about.
And this is like,
all
so
of
he vanished in August. That was May. This is obviously like months and months and months and months he's been planning this. He's just a piece of shit.
Dickhead. In regards to Ryan's laptop, police found the following. The hard drive had been replaced. Browsers had been cleared on the day of Ryan's disappearance. The laptop was synced with iCloud on August 11th, 2024. There's photos of passports, inquiries about moving funds to foreign banks. Ryan also changed email addresses associated with the bank accounts on the day that he disappeared. And he had been communicating with a woman from Uzbekistan. Ryan had taken out a $375,000 life insurance policy in January 2024, and he purchased an airline gift card. So all pointing into he left.
I just like when
He
you
was like,
think
screw
about it,
my family.
he did this like, and even if he took out the life insurance policy in January, so again, this points to months and months of planning. Why didn't he just buy a secret laptop? If he had have done that, people probably would still not have known. Rather than, you know, like, and he did the secret passport. Why didn't he just buy another laptop that no one knew he had? That would have, this whole thing, he would have been able to get away with it.
Because men are dumb. Not all men, before anyone gets mad. But people who think they can get away with shit like this, I feel like you have to be dumb.
Especially involving international travel. Like, eventually you're probably going to be found out if you go under your real name. But, yeah, it's just, this guy's a loser.
I just feel like you can't have any emotional intelligence to be like, okay, I'm just gonna like have all of my young children think I'm dead, my wife think I'm dead, and I'm just gonna go fuck off with some woman from Uzbekistan. You cannot be a decent person, a smart person,
No.
and think that that's what you're gonna do. So the sheriff then said about all those discoveries, said, due to these discoveries of the new evidence, we are sure that Ryan was not in our lake. Police work. When asked about the new insurance policy, Sheriff Podol said, deep down inside, I believe Ryan has feelings for his family. What he did was wrong, and in his mind, I think that was something that was there to take care of them. So, I'm glad he threw them a bone. The sheriff said at a press conference in early November, "I want to thank the family. I want to thank his wife. That is one strong lady." He went on to say, "Whenever we called her, she always responded and she gave everything that she could for us. I cannot imagine what she's going through and what they're going through." He then spoke about Ryan's children and said, "They thought their dad was drowned. A day ago, they found out that he wasn't. Our investigation has many more steps to take to put this puzzle together. We're working with the Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigations, Mid-States Organized Crime Information Center, and the FBI as we continue to unravel the digital information available and provide the clearest possible picture of what has occurred. At this time, we believe that Ryan is likely alive and in Eastern Europe." He then said, "Ryan, if you're viewing this, I plead that you contact us or contact your family. We understand that things can happen, but there's a family that wants their daddy back." Emily made a statement to NBC via text that said, "I cannot make any comments at this time since it is still an active investigation." So in a crazy twist, there was a video that went viral of a man who looked like Ryan speaking to a woman giving free advice.
Take a look at this video taken at Pacific Beach in San Diego, California. Content creator Bailey Boomhauer, seen here holding up a sign asking if anyone wanted free advice, when a man on a bicycle came up to her asking this question.
I go to Uzbekistan or stay here?
Say that one more time.
Do I go to Uzbekistan or stay here?
Do you have family there?
No.
Why do you want to go?
Meet a woman?
So you've given up on meeting someone here?
No, I'm married.
The video that now has nearly 4.5 million views shows similar facial features to Ryan Borgwardt. In an interview with Action 2 News on the phone, Boomhauer describes the interaction as bizarre. She says the similarities between Borgwardt's story and the person she spoke with in California raise questions.
When I first heard that from the original video, I've never even heard of that place before, so it's just a very, odd parallel. That the man that's missing is also connected to Uzbekistan.
Boomhauer informed law enforcement of its existence.
Anything that we can get, we certainly go through it, see if it will help us out. But no, anybody that has any information, please come forward.
The sheriff's office says on its Facebook page they believe the person in the video is not Borgwardt, but when asked in person on Wednesday, they say they have to investigate it further.
So the man tells the interviewer he is torn between staying in the U.S. or moving to Uzbekistan to meet a woman. The man also says he's married, like Ryan. However, the man says his children have grown and moved out of the house, which would be different to Ryan's children because they're still pretty young. Posted the video on our Instagram, and we asked what people thought about it, and a lot of people did think that it could be Ryan.
I would say even more, I think it was 60-40 thought it was Ryan. I don't think it was, and I still don't think it is, because it doesn't look anything like Wisconsin. It kind of looks more like Florida or California or something like there's palm trees. The guy does look similar, but I guess the one thing that everyone made think it was him is the Uzbekistan mention, because that's pretty random. But looks similar. I don't think it was him. Yeah,
I think they definitely look similar, but it wasn't enough to make me be like, oh shit, that's him.
Yeah.
So the Green Lake County Sheriff's Office posted a message on Facebook on Wednesday night and said, "We do not believe the TikTok video is Ryan. We are in contact with the interviewer. Thank you to all for alerting us of its existence." And then it seems like they added this on. It says, "We have verified this is not Ryan by contacting people who know Ryan."
So before we finish up with the episode, we're going to hear a word from our sponsor, Skylight Frame. I find sometimes it's so hard to buy when you've got a big group of people to buy for. It's so hard to get the right personalized gift for every single person. It can be so stressful, time-consuming. And if you come from a big family, it can also be really expensive to buy everyone a personal gift for the holidays. So we've got the perfect gift for you. Skylight Frame is the touchscreen digital photo frame that your whole family and all of your friends will love. You can upload thousands of photos from your phone and watch them appear in seconds.
I love the design of it. There's actually 5 different styles that you could choose from. I have the black one. I love it. It's very sleek looking, and you could set it up in portrait or landscape mode. The photos are all displayed in HD resolution, and there's 2 different sizes that you could choose from. You could get the original 10-inch, or there's an even larger one that's 15 inches if you want something a little bigger. Plus, it's a top-rated brand with over 1 million happy customers, thousands of 5-star reviews, and it's available in over 30 countries. It's recommended by The Today Show, Forbes, and New York Magazine. And now, as a special limited-time offer for our listeners, get $20 off your purchase of a skylight frame when you go to skylightframe.com/society. That's skylightghtframe.com/society. Get $20 off your purchase now at skylightframe.com/society. So then on today, there was a bit of an update. Perfect timing for us for once.
Finally, yeah.
Police held a press conference and said that they have been in touch with Ryan. They said they believe he's in Europe, but he won't tell them exactly where. The Green Lake County Sheriff Mark Podol said that the breakthrough came when they made contact with a woman who speaks Russian. He said, on November 11th, we got in contact with Ryan through her, and that was a big turning point. Ryan sent authorities a selfie-style video of himself to prove that he was safe. He told authorities how he tried to fake his own death. This is a quote from the sheriff. He stacked an e-bike near the boat launch. He paddled his kayak in a child-sized floating boat out onto the lake. So, like, he was in a little kid boat and pushed his kayak along into the lake. He then overturned the kayak and dumped his phone in the lake. He paddled the inflatable boat back to shore and got on his e-bike and rode through the night to Madison, Wisconsin. In Madison, he boarded a bus, went to Detroit, and then to the Canadian border. He continued on the bus to an airport and got on a plane. The sheriff said, "We're continuing to verify this information." He told authorities that he did not think the search for him would go on so long or be so extensive. Sheriff Podol noted he feels bad about the amount of hours we put in. Oh, what about your whole family?
Yeah.
That thought you were dead for months. What about them?
I did read another article just this morning that it said he picked that lake because it was so deep. So I guess he thought that they would just assume he was in the depths or something like that.
That's what's crazy. Not that you could really do this as like an impulse, because it would take some planning. He planned this for months. It wasn't like a 1 month plan of like, yeah, fuck this, like I'm out of here. This was like months of planning.
Yeah. Probably Googled, deepest lakes in the area, and yeah.
How are you eating dinner with your family knowing that you're about to fuck off and fake your own death to be with a woman from Uzbekistan? And I hope it was a scam.
Yeah, me too. I
hope it was a romance scam. Yeah. And now he just like has to double down and be like, yeah, I totally love it here. The sheriff said the family wants Ryan home and that he wants that the sheriff wants.
Yeah.
The sheriff really likes to like insert himself in this. Yeah. Okay. The sheriff said that the family wants Ryan home and that he personally wants him back to clean up the mess that he created. It's like if I was his family, I'd be like, stay gone, bitch.
Yeah, me too.
Stay away. The sheriff said authorities will keep pulling at his heartstrings. Like, why? Like, don't beg this man to come back.
And also don't tell him your tactics.
Yeah.
I feel like the sheriff just wants him to come back so that they can charge him, which we'll get into. But I feel like the sheriff actually doesn't give a shit about coming back to clean up the mess. I feel like the sheriff just wants him back because he's an asshole and wants him to pay for what he did.
True. I hope anyways.
Yeah.
He said he needs to come back home to his kids. The sheriff, appearing emotional, ended the news conference by saying, Christmas is coming, and what better gift he could give...
You've only got a few more to
Christmas is coming, and what better gift he could give his kids is to be there for Christmas with them. Does the sheriff think this is a Hallmark movie? Like, I know I'm being snarky, but this man faked his death, left his kids. I don't want him there ruining my Christmas if I'm his children and family. Stay gone at this point.
Been pissed off more that he didn't plan his death well enough so I couldn't claim the life insurance.
Yeah. Like, oh, cool. Thanks for nothing. Ryan could potentially face an obstruction charge, the sheriff said, and the county is seeking around $35,000 to $40,000 for restitution. Ryan has not spoken to his wife or children as of so far that we've heard. As of today.
Yeah. I feel like the sheriff needs to stop talking, because if Ryan knows that he's going to be facing charges and tens of thousands of dollars, of course he's not going to come home.
He's not coming home for Christmas with a $40,000 debt above his head.
Yeah.
Maybe he's saying it because he's like, stay gone.
It's so, like, this is just, I feel like this is one case lately, like what we posted on our Instagram today, and there's been so many comments because this guy just looks like an average middle-aged guy. Like, there's nothing special about him, clearly. But he's just tried to orchestrate this massive scam and fraud. Like, it's like a movie. It's unbelievable.
What kills me is, and I won't get like too into it because it's like controversial political subjects, but like he is like a very pro-life person. The wife's like profile pictures, pro-life, says like focus on the family. So it's like, how are you going to be pro-life and preach about the family unit being important? And this is what you do?
Such a
You
hypocrite.
just abandon your children,
Yeah.
your wife, you leave your family for a random woman you were talking online, and he has posts talking about like the sanctity of marriage between a man and a woman. But it's like, oh, you're gonna go fake your own death? And what? Like, it's just wild to me. I hate people like this so much.
Yeah.
Obviously. And I saw a comment, and it's so true. It's like, it was men. What was it?
We'll do the most to avoid having a conversation.
Yeah, this one was, men will literally fake their own death or annihilate their whole family before just filing for fucking divorce.
Yeah.
It's so true. Again, not all men before someone
Yeah.
has to say it.
Sometimes
not all
women
men.
too.
We
but-
know.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just wild to me, like the ego of some of these people to think, yeah, this is cool. It doesn't matter how many other people I hurt, how many other people are going to be out searching for me, how much money I'm going to waste. All that matters is me
Yeah.
getting over to find my Uzbekistani girlfriend, who I hope was a scammer.
I would love to see the selfie video. They've posted a still from the selfie video. Like
The
so
still,
that-
he looks ill.
Yeah. But I would love to watch that video and just see what he had to say.
I really hope it was what I said before. He's miserable. He got scammed. There is no hot Uzbekistani girlfriend. It was actually like a man catfishing him the whole time. And now he just has to be like, no, it's so amazing here. Like, I'm so happy that I left my wife and children and I'm just living the best life here now.
And what about even the comments when that other video, the TikTok video with the other guy, they're like, imagine if they were both communicating with the same person. Both being catfished by the same Uzbekistani.
That could be.
I just feel like it's such a random place. Like, you know, it's one thing to meet someone online, but Uzbekistan, like, random.
I don't even really know anything about Uzbekistan is because I watch the YouTuber Bald and Bankrupt sometimes that probably a lot of people know. I mean, he has a huge following, but he's always over there going around. It's by Afghanistan?
Yeah, I'm just looking at a map now. So it borders Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, I think I'm saying that right, and Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
It's in Central Asia, former
Yeah, he's
Soviet
always
Republic.
over there.
It's a doubly landlocked country. What a change from Wisconsin to Uzbekistan.
Yeah, so I hope we find out more about this story. I hope that I hope he does a tell-all. I hope he does a podcast. I hope, get him on this podcast. Reach out.
Absolutely.
Would love to talk to him. Would love to ask him some questions. But that is it for this Ryan for now. We will see what happens. And on to Ryan number 2.
So this case isn't quite as clear-cut as being a fake disappearance. A lot of people believe it is, though. It's about a man, a British national named Ryan Flynn, also known as Ryan Roth. People believe he may be alive after he faked his own death in Bali in Indonesia in January 2020. So he's been missing for a lot longer, nearly 5 years. Still no trace of him apparently. So maybe not as quite believable that it's faked, but we'll get into it.
I first heard about his suicide probably about a month after it happened. I came across this story. British guy falls from the top of a cliff in Bali. Ryan Roth, my nephew.
I did not know the whole situation about Bali until somebody contacted me. We would like to know your thoughts about his death And I was like, what? What? Why would he do that? Because I thought everything was going so well for him.
Around the island, he was this big showboat who had this startup that was doing phenomenal. It was like someone going up and up and up, and then the next day you kill yourself. It didn't make sense to people.
All the stories started to come out that he was basically a professional con man and was ripping people off all over the planet.
In a 20-year career, managed to steal somewhere between $7 and $12 million.
He said, give me all. You just give me all your money.
I would never think that he'd run off with $5 million. I would never think that he would fake his own death.
As some background into this, Ryan, he was born in Southampton in England in 1980. He left the UK to live in America and changed his name from Ryan Flynn to Ryan Roth. Ryan's website is still up. It's ryanrothslife.wordpress.com. Basically, he's a bit of a narcissist, I think. He talks all about himself, about how great he is. He said he started traveling the world at 21, says he'd lived in London, Paris, Tokyo, Bangkok, Sydney, Auckland, and LA. He describes himself on his website as entrepreneurial from an early age, and it says that he achieved success in a number of different professions: writer, tennis coach, sponsorship director, event planner, art consultant, investment advisor, curator, and film festival board member. So he goes on to say, when he's not working, Ryan loves to explore the world. He spends times with friends, reading, learning other languages, and he lists them all: French, Japanese, Spanish, Mandarin, Korean, Balinese. Plays rugby, cricket, cooking, kite surfing. This goes on and on. So basically, he really likes himself a lot.
Just not to prematurely add a thought, as I always do, this just goes right back to what I was saying before. It's like these men think way too highly of themselves. Yeah. Their egos are so huge that they really think they can just fake their own death and just go on with life and no one's going to know.
The one thing about this Ryan that's maybe a little bit different to the other Ryan is this Ryan is handsome, good looking, like, you know, it doesn't really matter, but like I feel like this is how he got away with a lot of these things. He seems like he was quite charismatic, attractive to some people, I guess. Like it's just, he really, really loves himself.
Yeah. This Ryan seems so exhausting and annoying and someone I would never want to meet in real life. Not to say that he's like any worse than the other Ryan, just kind of like a totally opposite, but just as bad.
Yeah. So on LinkedIn, Ryan also claimed that he had attended the University of Southampton and studied psychology and law, but he didn't complete his degree. He said, after doing 2 years, I left the university with the option to complete. But since he's been missing, a press officer for the university told the media there is no record of Ryan ever studying there. So this gives you an idea.
Never heard of him.
Of where this case is going. Ryan has been accused of scamming people. He's been accused of taking thousands of dollars from people, including his grandmother. His uncle Sean Flynn said that Ryan is a serial fraudster living on other people's money. There's an ex-girlfriend of Ryan's named Karen Jinbeck who spoke to the media and said that Ryan made some bad decisions, which included scamming people. She said that she was forced to transfer months of outstanding rent to one of his flatmates. She said they dated from 2009 to 2012 and they broke up because Ryan had overstayed his visa by 2 years. She said, we had to break up because I didn't know it was illegal to harbour an immigrant. Ryan had overstayed by 2 years and I did not want to move out of the country with him. So it's alleged that Ryan took around £20,000 from his grandmother. She's since passed away, but there's been a letter that she wrote to Ryan that's been released. I'll read it out to you just because it's quite sad. And like, imagine doing this to your grandmother, an elderly woman.
And she writes you a handwritten letter in cursive about how horrible you are.
Ryan, thanks very much, Ryan, for letting me down. I have no money left. No, I am worrying for the first time in 70 years. I've had no stress and you have put paid to that. Thank you. I trusted you and thought that you of all people would not let me down. It goes to show I was wrong. I will never trust anyone again. Thanks. Don't keep phoning money to my bank. It took a few hours to get you $3,000 from me. Yet 6 weeks later, you have not given me any money that you owe me. You owe me $12,000 plus for the first time. $12,000 plus. For the first time in your mother's life, she has had a bob behind her in case she was ill. Anytime you robbed her of that. I'll never forgive you for that. You have made me ill since you took all my money. Doctor has said it's stress and worry and it should not be happening at my age, but it has. and it's all through you. I lent you money left, right, and center and not a penny back. You just kept wanting more. Sean was moving to Cyprus and I have no money to go and see him as I am broke. You have only paid me £350 since February 2013. I think it's about time you paid me back. Your mother has had to borrow off her boss to pay her rent. Have you no shame to think your mother went hungry because of you? Signed, Nan. Ryan's uncle Sean is the one who speaks mostly to the media for their family. He said, as a child, Ryan always believed he was the smartest in the room, especially at Christmas family gatherings. He said he was going to be a professional tennis player because of all the glamour associated with it, and then a marine biologist. He went to America to become an actor and went by the name Ryan Roth, as he thought he had a better chance, as Roth is a common name for actors. The uncle went on to say he didn't contact his late mother for 7 years until he wanted money. She never had any as she would pour, and she would try to borrow money for him as she believed he was starving. He also said he borrowed a lot of money from his aunt. She won't say how much, but she knows she won't get it back. So one way that Ryan seemed to try and scam people was that he would set up charities and that he would dissolve them. He set up one called Our Planet UK in 2008 and closed it down a year later. Another one called Living Legends was established in 2006 and it was dissolved in 2009. He also stated on his LinkedIn that he was the founder and CEO of Carbu & Co., which is a company described as one of the most ethical coffee supply chains in the world. And he said he connected farmers to buyers to reduce the cost to buyers and increase smallholder farmer income. But that company shut down in 2020. So this is a pattern for him. He creates these charities allegedly to try and help people, takes the funds and dissolves them. So by January 2020, Ryan had made it to Bali in Indonesia. On January 20 that year, Ryan's motorbike, his belongings, and apparent suicide note were found on the edge of a cliff. The note was addressed to a person called Alice, and it said, I'm sorry, Alice. I'm the man you fell in love with, but past things I never did. Maybe you feel I was a stranger. I'll always love you. None of this is your fault, your old man. Kiss, kiss. So kind of a weird, ambiguous letter.
Mm-hmm.
Police investigated it and discovered that Alice Yu was an ex-girlfriend of Ryan's who lived in Hong Kong. But when police spoke to her, she told them that they really hadn't had any recent problems. They really hadn't had any recent communication. So she didn't know why the letter would be addressed to her.
It just seems like it was very staged.
Yeah. So there's photos of his stuff on the cliff. It's like his helmet. It looks like a towel, like a bottle of alcohol or something there. Like basically it's all just kind of laid out right on the edge of this cliff. The cliff is said to be around 500 feet high. The head of the search said we went through all the procedures, but we didn't find either the victim or signs of a fall or any run around the cliff. The police chief said at the time, we haven't confirmed whether he fell, suicide, or he left the location safe. According to the Seminyak Times, searchers were called off after officers were unable to locate a body or signs that anyone had fallen from the cliff. A Foreign Office spokesperson said, we are supporting the family of a British man missing in Bali and are in contact with the Indonesian police who are carrying out the search. So after Ryan's disappearance, a lot more information about his alleged crimes came out as emerged that police in Australia wanted to speak to him about a 2008 fraud incident. The police made a statement and they said, following a 2008 online fraud report alleging a then 27-year-old man, officers from Sydney City Police conducted an investigation. They are yet to formally speak to the man who left the country. So it seems to be a pattern for him.
Mm-hmm.
As of November 2024, when we're recording, so nearly it'll be 5 years in January, Ryan is still missing. There is much online speculation about where he could be, if he's still alive, did he really jump off the cliff? There is even a website dedicated to him called ascamaday.com. It says, a scam a day, Ryan Roth's fraudulent life across the globe. Who is Ryan Roth? It says, leave a tip. The latest post is Ryan Roth is alive and breathing. So it goes on and on to basically their reasoning for thinking that Ryan is alive. There's a lot of information on Reddit about Ryan. This is an excerpt from someone who knew him, and I found it quite interesting, so I'll read out.
I love this.
Should I read the whole thing, do you think? Maybe I will.
Yes.
It says, so I met this guy in Thailand in 2007. It was clear that Ryan wanted to be rich and respected. However, he was a very lazy guy and seemed to hope that if he just chilled out every day, the billions and respect would start rolling in. My business was going well at the time I met him, so he clung on to me in the hope I could help him. It says, I said to Ryan he could use our rented workspace. He showed up and helped himself to a drink and sat around for 30 minutes. Then he kept trying to get me to play table tennis, and he kept interrupting me with his chat, which involves some disgusting jokes involving the sexualization of women. He was 27 at the time, and I thought he seemed really immature. I was working 100 hours plus per week, and I told him I had no time for him, so I told him not to come back. However, this did not stop him trying to get me into business with him. He would send me dozens of business ideas. I even got 3 emails from him in one day. One of his ideas was to start up a business where investors could invest in people. For example, if they invested $100,000 in a person to help get them through university, then the person actually gets 10% of that person's future earnings. I said to him, Ryan, you did realize you can't trade human beings. That's slavery. And he responded to say that his lawyers said it was fine.
Oh my God.
It says, I also received word that he was couch surfing and staying in a different place each week to save on rent. He did ask if he could crash at my place, but I ignored it. He would talk like he was a rich businessman, but he seemed to be living hand to mouth. It says he then got involved in a charity to help save young girls from sex trafficking. It was clear the whole thing was a scam. The donations page even had a PayPal link to his own Gmail account. I also found it ironic that Ryan should suddenly care about women's welfare when he referred to them as sex objects. Around this time, he complained to me that people had given him the nickname Rambo Ryan because of his heroics of extracting female victims. He acted annoyed, saying he didn't want to be seen as a hero, which was hilarious because the only person I ever heard him refer to as Rambo Ryan was himself.
It's like, they won't stop calling me Rambo Ryan.
I built up quite a dislike for Ryan, and I went so far as to email the associates who worked with him on a charity. And it says that basically one of the people emailed back saying that the charities were struggling, but, you know, this goes on. He said that Ryan also referred to himself as Dr. Ryan Roth to make the doctor tag make him seem more trustworthy. I know he is not a doctor, as he said he had not completed his degree. It goes on to say he has scammed so many people over the years, and I was just waiting for him to get caught. There were rumors when I knew that he scammed his own grandmother. I thought it was bullshit, as even Ryan wouldn't sink that low, but wow, he did. The frustrating thing is that he is still on the run. However, I do take comfort that his own friends, family, ex-lovers, and business associates now know what a rat he is. When the story about his fake death broke, there were so many emails, and everyone acknowledged that he was shifty. He scammed some people out of $50,000, and that is just the people I know about. The trail seems to have gone cold, but I hope that one day he will be caught. It's an interesting one. Obviously, we have way less evidence in this case that Ryan is alive than the first Ryan. It does seem likely that he, you know, based on his just general character, that he could have faked his death. He was a scammer. He apparently could speak a bunch of languages. Whether or not that was true, I don't know. But I just wonder, after 5 years, how has he not been found or seen, or like, where is he? I guess he could be. I just feel like someone who seems as narcissistic as him wouldn't be able to hide that long.
I don't know if he'd be able to like keep his fucking mouth shut for this long.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like we all know a person who thinks they're way more intelligent and like an entrepreneur. It's kind of like I hope I don't insult people, but it's like that loser type of guy that you went to high school with that thinks they're an entrepreneur and like posts all those things on Instagram. It was like, you know, I've got my 9-to-5 job and then my 5-to-9 job, and always coming up with different new ideas, but never actually following through on any of them. And they just like to pretend they're successful, essentially.
Yeah. And even how his uncle said he always thought he was the smartest person in the room, and that goes along with the Reddit comment as well. Like, he just thought that he was way more intelligent than everyone and he could fool everyone. But and then saying that, he has for 5 years. If he didn't
all right,
jump,
don't give him that much credit.
He has managed to somehow hide, if that is what happened. I'm just looking at the photos now of the edge of the cliff. Like, it's like he's laid out all his stuff, just like it does look staged to me. Like, if you're going to jump off a cliff, do you really go and lay all your stuff down? And like, why would you bother with a towel if you're going to jump off a cliff? It's just do you know what I mean? It's just a weird scenario. And it's funny because like all the searchers are just like standing there just looking at the stuff.
Yeah, they look really unimpressed. They're like, who left this trash here? It is so staged. Like,
it does. Like, it absolutely looks staged. I just feel like I understand the kind of concept of it was that he probably sat there pondering what he should do, and then he did it after he wrote the note. But
yeah, he wanted to look like he was like really pondering life and like he's a poet.
I guess he could be somewhere like, I don't know, South America or something like that, and have just totally
Uzbekistan.
started again. Yeah, maybe he's behind the other Ryans.
Yeah.
Oh, but an interesting case because it is less cut and dried than the first one. It does seem likely that he probably is alive, but I guess maybe one day we'll find out.
And if he is out there, 100% he like reads all this shit about him, and he's probably not too pleased with what people are saying about him. He probably wanted people to be like, he was such an amazing guy. He was so spiritual, so deep, amazing. And they're all like, this loser scammer.
But yeah, so I've linked the Scam-A-Day website on the blog. Like, I feel like it is a very biased website. It's obviously from someone who has kind of a vendetta against Ryan, which it seems like a lot of people do. But there's some interesting info on there if you want to check it out anyway.
Yeah. Ryan, both Ryans, if y'all want to come on here and defend yourself, you could be our first official interviews. Would be happy to have you. And just because I feel like we have to say it, like, yeah, we're giggling and laughing, but of course, especially with the first one, what he did to his family is so horrible and disgusting and not funny at all. We laugh because it's so ridiculous, and these men are assholes. They're stupid assholes.
It's a shame that Ryan II hasn't been found yet and made to become accountable for what he's done.
Yeah, I need to see a public shaming of both these Ryans. All right, so that is it for Ryan and their fake disappearances. I mean, I guess we don't know if second Ryan is fake disappearance, but it seems likely. I mean, we will see if there's any updates with the first Ryan, since that is the more current one and seems to be ongoing. So make sure you're following us on Instagram because we'll post any updates there that we hear about it. And as always, everything will be on the blog at truecrimesocietyblog.com. Instagram, if you want to follow our personal accounts, mine is StephSum_. Olivia's TCS Olivia. And check us out on Patreon as well. We do all of the episodes ad-free, and we have weekly bonus episodes. We just recorded one about Hannah Kobayashi, which is a very interesting missing persons case. So if you want some extra content, check us out there. Leave us some nice comments on Spotify. Share the podcast to your Instagram stories, all of that. And I hope everyone has a safe holiday, had a safe holiday whenever you're listening to this, and is ready for...
Stay calm around your families.
Yeah. Get ready for a peaceful, nice, relaxing holiday season, the end of the year, which has not been our year. So maybe next year. That's it. So thank you guys for listening. Stay safe. Peace out.
See ya.